let's make McDonald's steak, egg, and cheese biscuit. Nope, that's not what it is either. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, That Chocolate Bean, with me, Erin Wells, and you read that title correctly. Let's make McDonald's steak, egg, and cheese bagel, but veganize it. Let's get started. Alright y'all, this is actually my second time shooting this video. The first time, I just did not like the result of the steak, so I wanted to do it over. It was almost good, but it was too salty, so I wanted to run it back. So I got some oyster mushrooms from Whole Foods. Of course, it's way cheaper if you get it from the farmer's market. I was already in the area. I still regret being lazy, but it is what it is. I broke them up into about 3 large bundles. I did not cut off the tips. I did wash them, but I did not cut off the tips. And I went ahead and put a little bit of oil into my cast iron skillet. You're going to need a cast iron skillet for this, y'all, okay? I did not use all the clusters of my mushrooms. I did not want to overcrowd the pan. Now you're going to put some parchment paper on top of your cast iron and then another cast iron on top of that. If you do not have a cast iron, use something very heavy or several pots and pans so you can squeeze out your mushrooms. So now, taking the excess water, pouring that out, I'm going to go ahead and season with some garlic and herb. You can season with steaks, seasoning, whatever you would like. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip and then do the same thing again. So flip and then proceed to put the parchment paper back on and then the cast iron back on. All right, this process is going to take you at least 30 minutes, guys. I don't know if you haven't noticed. I can't really tell you exact time because everybody's time is going to be different, but you can pretty much feel around to your mushrooms when they are done. So when I thought they were pretty much done, I went ahead and added butter to the pan and some rosemary. I kept adding butter till I felt the mushrooms were hydrated. You don't want to get them back wet, obviously, but I did want them to be back hydrated so that the flavor could infuse with that rosemary. This only takes about 1 minute, honestly, guys. Like, really doesn't take long at all. So once it is infused and enough butter to my liking, I went ahead and added in some steak seasoning. Do not go overboard with this. This is what I did last video. I added in too many seasonings and it got salty. So I pressed one more time for about 5 to 7 minutes. Just got thought, I was like, oh, I really want to get it really good and seared in with the flavor I added in. Then I took it off. I pressed manually with my spatula, and steaks were done. We were good to go after that. So all I did was pop the just egg into the microwave and topped it with some vegan cheese. I forgot which brand I used, y'all. I just grabbed whatever cheddar slices I had in the fridge, honestly. Now let's move on to the previously shot part of the video, which is where I caramelized the onions. I took about a half of a large white onion, added a little oil to the stove, and I let them sit on medium low for a while. Left the timer on about 17 minutes to let them caramelize. I did add butter about the halfway point, about 7 to 8 minutes in. Added some butter to the pan, stirred it up, let it sit. I didn't add any seasonings to this at all, but feel free to add some Worcestershire sauce if you do desire. And then I set those to the side. Now it was time to work on our sauce for this recipe. It was a half a cup of mayo, about 2 tablespoons of mustard. I will put the recipe on the screen that I use in particular. My lemon was super juicy, so a lot of the liquid did come out. I added in some steak seasoning as well, some dried dill. Instead of honey, of course, we're going to swap that out for some agave. I use off-brand A1 and it's just fine if you do as well. I added some salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. Of course, you're gonna shake to what the ancestors tell you to stop. Now, I was not impressed with this sauce upon first trying it, but I quickly learned after the recipe was done that it's supposed to be a mild tasting sauce because the other flavors are so powerful. You don't need a sauce to it's not the star of the show. It's okay. I thought it would be like amazing. I think I'm gonna add some more garlic for me. It just doesn't taste exotic. I mean, nothing wrong with the sauce, but you know, I'm a sauce girl. If I'm gonna make a sauce, I want it to be like, ooh, okay, I see what we're doing here. Let me add a little bit more A1. It just don't taste too unique, y'all. It just tastes like it's a sauce. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know, but I guess it's supposed to be mild compared to like whatever else. All right. This was also from the first time I did the video, just showing you guys how, although it was good, it was salty. But I just want to show you guys that this was a winning recipe. I definitely want you guys to eat this. There y'all go. You want to see it without. Okay, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Okay, here we go. Okay. McDonald's ain't taste that good. There's no way. It's so good. Now I will say it's a little salty. Do not add what I put on the mushrooms. Now we're getting out the bagels for the current recipe. I use Dave's Killer Bread. Use your favorite bagels. You know, I ain't really trying to eat bread in the first place. Let's load it up. We're gonna take the bagel. I did pop this in the microwave just to soften it up a bit. Feel free to toast it with butter in the stove. Make it your own, y'all. Make it your own. Adding in our sauce, then our steak. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. The previously sauteed onions. Like I said, you can do your you can caramelize your onions the day before. These were definitely reheated and still delicious. Taking some just egg and cheese. I only had one more just egg, don't y'all judge me. Putting on some more sauce and then the top, and we're ready to eat. I thought I was being fancy with these sprinkles. Now y'all know this sandwich gets messy. Make it neater if you want to. I don't want y'all to be too close to my mouth because it got real disgusting. Look at that mushroom. Look at that. Y'all, I definitely cooked the rest. Y'all saw the rest of the mushrooms I had left over. I had to make it again. So good. I recommend 10 out of 10. I highly recommend you make this recipe, okay? As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Look at me not eating bread, even though it was good. I'm throwing all this away.